Welcome. I want to start by first thanking our sponsors, without whom we wouldn't be able to do this. I had never thrown an event in my life until I had this job. I've learned they are very expensive. So thank you very much, first and foremost, to Accenture, who I think their office is right there. And Tim Montag and I were talking about this in Brussels last year, saying, well, maybe Accenture could be involved, and here we are a year later, which is fantastic. So thank you, Accenture, for supporting this. To our platinum sponsors, so Soptim, another local company. Everybody get your Soptim cookie, bring it home. Looks delicious. Google, a longtime LF Energy supporter, and Inestech, quickly becoming a leading contributor to LF Energy and open source for energy. Also want to thank Hitachi, EcoFi, Savoir-Faire Linux, and I can't forget the EON Research Center at RWTH Aachen University. Thank you, Anto and crew, for hosting a lot of events earlier this week. It's really been helpful. And then I also want to thank our members. So LF Energy, our ecosystem, is member supported. So the majority of our funding comes from the logos you see up here. And we've had a lot of new faces join the community over the past year, which is fantastic. That's a sign that we're doing something right, we're being useful, and that's really why we exist. And members are important because they pay for things like this event. So even with sponsors, even with people paying for their tickets, we still need to cover extra fees. So thank you, members, for helping subsidize this event. But they also pay for things like security audits, IT infrastructure, project websites, documentation support, the list goes on. Basically, all the things that we do for the project ecosystem, that's coming from member financing. And by being a member, what we do is we help those members become open source leaders, right? That's how we work together. That's how this becomes sustainable. Okay, so let's talk for a second about why LF Energy exists, why we're all here at this event. The energy industry has a collaboration problem. We're addicted to reports. When we talk about collaboration, oftentimes a bunch of people get together and the output is a white paper. And that's nice, but it doesn't actually solve any problems, does it? Right? It's a wonderful thing to read before bedtime, but that's about it. And so one of my French friends puts it would be better to have less talk, more code. And especially as we're talking about the digital energy transition, this is incredibly important, right? Let's work together on the problems that those white papers talk about and actually solve them through code. And in a nutshell, that's what LF Energy is doing, right? So we're collaboration for the digital energy transition, right? So our collaboration is producing those technology outputs. This includes standards that can match the speed of innovation, foundational software building blocks to solve common problems across the industry, and then trusted data sharing that actually scales, that lowers the friction for researchers and modelers to actually produce new outputs, right? This is essential, and this is solving meaningful problems in our industry right now. And I think just the fact that this is growing so much year over year is an indication that this is needed and it's useful. Now, while we're here, right, it's important for everybody to meet people. You know, you can see the YouTube videos online, but we're all here right now to actually meet people, form relationships, start discussions, and hopefully turn that into action. So tonight's round is on Hitachi. Thank you, Hitachi, for the drinks tonight. So that networking reception is at 5. And then if you want to meet some new people, we are arranging some group dinners. Go to reception, sign up by 3:30 if you want to be part of one of those groups. And then before I introduce our next speakers, I just want to emphasize a request, right? It's great that you're all here. Please don't be passive observers. You know, come, learn, meet people, and then you should leave with a pretty big to-do list of follow-up items. And then please follow through on those items, right? The discussions that you have here should lead to action. Let's actually do something. Less talk, more code. Okay, and with that, it is time for me to introduce Christian Hill, who is the Utilities and Energy Transition Lead for Europe, Middle East, and Africa for Industry X at Accenture. And then Antonello Monti, who's professor RWTH Aachen University and chair of the Technical Advisory Council for LF Energy. So please welcome them on the stage.